Coming up tonight on YCN News, an early morning fire in Chester, Vermont destroys a local antique business. Representatives from 2 Lake Sunapee area businesses are honored for giving back to the community. And New Hampshire state officials close the hotline set up to help customers of Fred Fuller Oil Company. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. An early morning fire today destroyed a Chester, Vermont antique business. The fire was deliberately set, state fire investigators say. No one was injured in the 12:45 a.m. blaze, yet the fire destroyed the Yankee Ingenuity Antiques shop. The shop is owned by George and Mary Bittner, a Vermont State Police press release notes. The shop is located at 389 South Main Street in Chester along Route 103 North. Fire investigators estimate the building's loss at $45,000. This does not include the value of the antiques and collectibles in the shop. The fire was put out by 5:30 this morning. Because of its suspicious nature, investigators poured over the area. Anyone with information on this fire is asked to call Vermont State Police. Contact Sergeant Stephen Otis at the Rockingham Barracks. The number is 802-875-2112, or call the arson tip line at 1-800-32-ARSON. Mutual aid to the Chester Fire Department came from communities surrounding Chester. These include the fire departments of Springfield, Rockingham, Proctorsville, and Bellows Falls, all in Vermont. The Charlestown Fire Department also responded. Representatives from 2 Lake Sunapee area businesses were honored Monday night for what they have given back to the community. Monday night's awards dinner recognized New London Hospital's Karen Zurheide as Community Member of the Year. Zurheide is Vice President of Community Relations and Development at the hospital. Sunapee Cruises is this year's Business of the Year. The Fenton family own and operate 2 dinner cruise boats, tours popular with locals and tourists. The basis for both awards are contributions that encourage and promote the region's quality of life. Jen Talkman, Executive Director of the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce, says both organizations meet that requirement handily. A dinner to mark the occasion was held at Colby Sawyer College in New London, New Hampshire. After the break, we'll hear how New Hampshire state officials closed the hotline to help customers of Fred Fuller Oil, and we'll learn about a new, fun way to glide down the snowy slopes.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. New Hampshire state officials have closed the hotline set up to help customers of Fred Fuller Oil Company. The Hudson, New Hampshire-based company came under the state's scrutiny when customers did not receive their deliveries of home heating oil. With the recent cold, some customers had less than a quarter of a tank of fuel. The State Attorney General's office says it is working with Fuller officials to determine what caused the delays. Governor Maggie Hassan said Monday that protecting the safety of New Hampshire residents became paramount. Hassan thanked Homeland Security and Emergency Management Director Perry Plummer, his staff, and state employees. All answered calls from concerned residents. More than 1,850 people called the hotline from January 7th through 12th. Fred Fuller customers on pre-buy or monthly contracts who have experienced delivery or service delays have an option. They may want to file a complaint with the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Bureau. Go to doj.nh.gov or call the consumer hotline at 1-888-468-4454. Attempts to speak with a manager at Fred Fuller today did not pan out. Meanwhile, the company says on its website that it is working to help its customers. The company has established its own hotline for those in danger of running out of home heating oil. The 40-year-old oil and propane company received a Best of New Hampshire award in 2013. People concerned about what life after Vermont Yankee will be like have a chance to be heard tonight. A meeting in Montpelier will give citizens wondering how the closure of the nuclear power plant will affect them time to speak. On December 23rd, Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin announced the state and Entergy, the company that owns Vermont Yankee, reached several agreements on the closure. Vermont Yankee is expected to close at the end of 2014. We will have more news on this issue tomorrow. We turn now to the creation of an outdoors enthusiast. Here's a new way to glide down a snow-covered slope. We're at the Blackwater ski area at Proctor Academy with Bill Herrick. So, Bill, tell me about the sloboggan.
Slobogganing, this is our first time over here, and it's just a fantastic day. Started 3 years ago, and we've been working on them ever since. It's a steering device for many of today's plastic toboggans, which are not controllable very well, and we have invented a sloboggan so that we can steer toboggans, and then by hooking a number of them together, we can take families all in a train. We call it a sloboggan train down the snow-covered hills.
So what are we going to see here today?
You're going to see two members of the Yankee Cable Network racing each other down Pylon Course. The very first time we've ever had racing among slobogganers, and you can consider yourself a slobogganer now. And John Connor can be a slobogganer, and you're racing him. And I didn't see the outcome, so I'm not sure who won, but it was fantastic to watch it.
So if people are interested in the sloboggan, where do they find out about it?
Online is the best place right now is www.sloboggan.com. And we have a web page. We have also 30 videos or more on YouTube, all different situations. And sloboggans, we have two models. We have the Link 1, which was named after my first grandson, Lincoln, who was the reason I invented the sloboggan. And then we have the new model, the Griffin. And the Griffin was named after my second grandson. Oh. You know, I've got to keep the family happy.
Yeah. Tell us about World Snow Day.
World Snow Day is coming up this 19th, and this is an event that's held around the world. They'll expect maybe 600,000 participants in 30-some countries around the world this year. It's really bringing children to the snow is the ideal behind it, and it's a FIS, the Federation Internationale of Skiing, headquartered in Europe, that promotes bringing children to the snow. Primarily ages 4 to 14 participate with their parents, guardians, and so forth, and we're looking forward to as many as want to come out and see us this weekend as possible.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Rose.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spellman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 44 degrees and lows in the 20s. Thursday will have highs in the upper 30s with a low of 26 degrees. Friday, dress for the snow because we're expecting snow showers with a high of 39 and lows in the mid-20s. Saturday will have highs in the 30s with a low of 18 degrees. And Sunday, the snow will continue with highs up to 28 and lows down to 12 degrees. So be sure to dress warm this weekend. If you're a fan of Vermont Public Radio, head over to Norwich this Thursday for a behind-the-scenes look at VPR with Charlotte Albright and Betty Smith Marstow in the Public Library starting at 6:30 p.m.
It's Monday, January 13th, and we're at Gunstock Mountain Resort, enjoying sunny skies and comfortable temperatures. This winter has been a roller coaster of weather. Luckily, it's been mostly cold weather, and we have a nice base of snow and a fun forecast ahead for the Martin Luther King vacation weekend. Our ski areas are famous for their grooming. The machines responsible for that job cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and require some serious behind-the-scenes maintenance.
We have 4 large grooming snowcats. Typically, we have to, every 200 hours, we have to bring them in, change fluids in them, grease them, But daily we check them over, check oils and fluids. Oftentimes we have to repair tires and hydraulic hoses and things on a daily basis, but we make sure every single day, 7 days a week while we're operating as a ski area, we service them and keep an eye on them.
Last weekend's wild weather is in the rearview mirror, and we're back to a midwinter forecast. It's hard to believe, but we're just entering the heart of our ski season with 3 months of skiing and riding left to enjoy. Be sure to visit skinh.com for the latest snow conditions, weather forecasts, lift ticket deals, 4th and 5th grade snow sports passports, lodging information, events, and much more. 33 ski resorts, one stop. skinh.com.
And now, let's report on some of yesterday's boys basketball games in our region. Last night's Stevens versus Kearsarge game had Stevens dominating Kearsarge 74-66. Player Jordan Haynes from Stevens was the high scorer for the game, making 20 points. Stevens now stands at 2 wins and 2 losses. And we can't forget the game last night in Vermont with Windsor defeating Bellows Falls 72-53. Windsor's Mike Bradley hooped 29 points for his team. Windsor now improves with 5 wins and 3 losses. They are playing tonight against Stevens. Congratulations to our regional teams.
Thank you for joining us for this Tuesday edition of YCN News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycnnow.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from the director of the New England Handicapped Sports Association. I'm Rose Spillman for YCN, your local view. Good night.